Okay, so now for you at home, now we're skipping. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of jumping around here. Okay, so now we're going up to more recently. Okay, so you're an adult now. Let's go back to 2018, 2 years ago. Okay, go from there. Uh-huh.
That's correct, yeah. So it all came to a head one Sunday night in the Easter holidays of that year when me, my mum, and my stepdad, um, who's been on the scene now it would be 6 years, lovely, lovely guy. We went to our local cinema to see a film called Ghost Story, and it was all right for the first part, but it was for you listeners at home, it had audio description. Just thought I'd let you know of that one. Um, so the film was really good, actually, for the first part, and then it was towards the last 20 minutes, I'd say 15, 20 minutes. A part came which actually lacked in audio description. So obviously I'm sitting there going, what's happening here, And I turn to my mom and say, hey mom, can you please explain this? And obviously we're in the cinema. We're not at home, we can't pause the film or do anything like that. So she's like, well, I'll explain it to you later on. And there I am, like I say, still with about 20 minutes of the film left to go. And I'm going, shit, I feel angry. I actually feel really angry and left out here. And on the way home, we actually had, me, my mum, and stepdad actually had a massive argument about it, which ultimately ended up, and this wasn't very often for me, but it kind of is now. It ended up with me bursting into tears. And it was at that point we got home and my folks were like, do you know what, Will? Maybe now would be a good time to actually write to him, make the contact with him, with Tony, to try and get some answers, to try and.
So, okay. So, right. So you are leading into the point of the discussion where you want to talk about how, and it's all connected and it's all equally valid and equally important as you walk through it. But how, number one, blind people, and I'm in this group too. Thanks God I was not abused. Uh, but I will tell you from the bottom of my heart that when I get pissed, if you're standing in Pompeii, I'll be your Vesuvius. You don't want to be anywhere near me once you get me pissed. So I can relate to this, and I think that a lot of people. I'm so grateful to have you here tonight because I think so many of our listeners are in very similar situations all over the world where they feel sad, they feel angry, and that a lot of blind people have rages, and it's a very 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 common issue. An issue that my parents do not tolerate it, but I admit I can still get upset, and I do from time to time about very specific things. So what I mean, I guess what really frustrates me, what really boggles my mind, I guess, as we say here in the States, what really gobsmacks me, I guess, about all of this is I just have to I just have to ask you from the bottom of my heart, why would you write to Tony?
I mean, it was originally my folks' sort of suggestion, and I think it was really just because they could find no words to console me, if you like.
Right.
They can't heal the hurt. They can't take away the pain, and it's kind of, well, why don't you write to him, Will? Just to get some answers. It's been 18 years. He never made contact with you on your 18th birthday,
Mm,
despite
mm.
in this despite in previous emails to my mum, actually, he'd said, I will see him when he's 80, when he's an adult, and I will make contact with him, and that's
Right, that's
and if he,
Will's decision, right? That type of thing, right, right. Yeah.
mm, so it was literally just to, to get some answers,
Mm.
really. So,
I mean, I get it, and everybody else. I'm sure that there's a listener at home who completely relates to it.
mm,
It's just to me, no, I agree with you. I agree with the suggestion on one hand. I see why your folks said that to you, Will, but it's like on the other hand, not knowing you one bit, I would say in general, why would you want to give someone the attention who cared so little for you and by estimation cared so little for others? It's kind of like giving someone attention who doesn't need it. It's kind of like rewarding, all this bad behavior. I don't know. That's just
mm.
how I see it. If it had been me, I I I don't know. I can't relate to it because luckily it never happened. So it's not fair for me to sit here and say I wouldn't write or would write, but I don't know. It's so okay. So how did you end up solving this? So what happened in the end?
So because Tony, he's in or he was in the police as well. So I actually got in contact with him via work email because
Ooh.
because I have my mum's work email. Obviously, it's the same as his, apart from the name. So I got in contact with him and just wrote him a simple. I mean, I did several drafts beforehand, and I ended up writing him a simple something like, "I am writing to you to ask, why did you do what you did and leave us to pick up all the pieces?" And I thought, right,
Hmm.
I'll send that and see what he says to that. And a couple of days passed, and he comes back with an email pretty much consisting of lies, excuses,
Yep.
cover ups. Pretty much, I didn't do anything to you.
Wow.
I
Wow.
played over that night time and time and time again in my head. And but then, there's certain parts of his email which prove that he's deluded, because he says in one breath he's saying, I didn't do anything to you, but then later on in the email he says the insinuation that I did anything intentionally, which
Hmm.
means, yes, you did do something then, Tony. Then, if you're saying that, then why are you not just owning up and saying, oh, I am so sorry? Why? Because he wrote me things like, you have two half brothers. I won't be stating their names. You have two half brothers who are 6 and 12. Who know all about you, which is a complete lie for a start, because he hasn't seen me for 18 years.
And
Sorry, I'm
how
getting
would
out.
no worries. And exactly. And how would he? And what a load of twelve. How would he know? How would he know if if two of your half brothers knew you or not? How would he know that? I guess he
Well,
would.
the question is, how does he know about me? Because he hasn't seen me for 18 years. He doesn't
Well,
know what
that's
I'm up
well. You wrote to him. I mean, because of karma. That's how he knows that karma. His behavior created bad karma. That's how he knows. Yeah.
to. Mm.
Oh God. So then this continues. Uh huh.
So it's pretty much, oh, you have two half brothers. Yeah. No, in fact, I will mention names, because the main point is, or the main reason I wanted to do this is to expose him. His name is Tony Gradwell, by the way. So you have two half brothers, Jack and Evan, who know all about you, and he's going, oh, you have a bank account which was set up years and years ago for you, but never actually mentioned the idea of, oh, um, any way I can get this money to you. So his email pretty much consists of lies and cover-ups. Like I say, just excuses, no apologies, no nothing. He's apportioning blame onto anyone else that he can, you know, and it's just the situation wasn't resolved from there. So I show the email to my family, and they're all going, right, we've got to, or mom's going, right, we've got to compose a hard hitting response back to him. And we did. And the response pretty much detailed everything that I don't want to say I can't do, but everything that I struggle to do, or in some instances can't do, yes, due to his actions. So, I mean, we did kind of, well, I guess we exaggerated it slightly, but obviously a lot of, everything we say is true. So, from the basics, when I wake up in the morning, I can't look out the window and appreciate the supposedly beautiful world we live in. Look at the weather. I can't see the birds in the garden. To the more mundane things like, I can't read a book like you guys can. If I want to, because I'm a musician, I love music. If I want to choose, if I want to listen to a CD, yes, I'm still old fashioned. I listen to CDs sometimes.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. If I want to listen to a CD, when I pick it out, I have to ask what it is. I can't, because I can't see it. Just detailing everything that I struggle to do, and saying, well, you did do something, Tony. You did do this, and even if you didn't, you say you didn't mean to do it, or you did nothing intentionally, you did it, and I'm blind, and it's your fault, and you're not even willing to admit that. And he never responded to that.
Right.
He actually never replied to that.
Right. Because you won. Because you were right, and you delivered karma. Right. You showed him that you.
But it doesn't even end there, Aaron.
Well, keep going then. Hey, oh my
God. Doesn't even end there. So about a year goes by. We're about a year at this point, actually.
Okay, so 29. Okay, so we get all the way to 2019. 2019. Yeah.
Yeah. Around the same time, actually, a bit later on. And I had, and I still have, frequent anger outbursts. Now, triggers of these outbursts can range from not being able to understand a film or a program on the TV due to lack of audio description, like what set off the Contact idea, to bumping into things, to witnessing things around me, like, I don't know, when I'm out on a walk and mum's going, oh, I'm just going to take a photo of this, or there's people around me in the street playing football, for instance, or just anything at all that involves vision, or my stepdad will frequently go, oh, Claire, that's my mum, look at this, and I'm sitting there going, what? And it's like, I had a massive outburst back in March, actually, which now this actually stemmed from my mum simply turning on the TV when I wasn't even in the room. And it's like this automatic reaction of, I want to join in with that. But to be honest, I know what will happen. I fear an outburst, because whenever I do try and join in with my folks watching the TV and stuff, I ask a lot of questions, as I'm sure a lot of visually impaired and blind people do. And it really gets on my nerves, or it seems to, certainly my mum's nerves, and she'll end up, and there's been several occasions where she'll walk out and either leave me crying or leave me feeling ashamed. Now, I'm not having a personal dig at my mum. I love her to bits, and I don't know what I'd do without her. But my constant questions can sometimes, leave her like that. And long story short, this outburst stemmed from her turning on the TV and stuff. And I usually, what I do is I'd either go in and try and join in, or I go into my room and listen to music, or call a friend and just try and get on with my evening and ignore it all.
Well, yeah, I must say that I'm relating to everything 100% of what you're saying, and you can I'm proud to say this on my podcast. You can call me anytime. you have my WhatsApp. You can send me a message anytime you need to talk, because
Oh, thank you.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart, mate. I totally know and understand how frustrating it is to be blind and not have anyone to talk to. And I'm in a lot of ways I'm the same way. I